In the competitive corridors of New York City's real estate market, few names commanded the same level of trust and prestige as Mark Nussbaum. Known for his sharp legal mind, high-profile clientele, and strategic finesse, Nussbaum was once considered a linchpin in complex property transactions. Co-founding the respected law firm Nussbaum Loewinger, he catered to some of the most influential figures in New York's Orthodox Jewish business community. Clients such as Joel Schraber, Mosh Silber, and Shah Prager entrusted him with multi-million-dollar portfolios. Nussbaum didn't merely operate in New York. His real estate footprint extended into Chicago's South Side, where he controlled a sizable portfolio totaling more than 126 units. For over a decade, his dual reputation as a legal tactician and shrewd investor remained largely unchallenged. His capacity to execute bridge loans, arrange escrow logistics, and show funds for prospective deals elevated him to a league of his own. But now, that reputation is under siege. The Fall, a courtroom spectacle in a stunning reversal of fortune, Mark Nussbaum found himself in handcuffs, led into Manhattan criminal court under allegations that have rocked New York's legal and real estate circles. Calm yet eerily composed, Nussbaum pled not guilty to charges of misappropriating over $15 million from client escrow accounts, funds that were meant to be held securely during major transactions. The bail conditions reflected the severity of the allegations: $500,000 in cash, another $500,000 insurance bond, and a $2 million partially secured bond. The court also ordered him to surrender his passport and wear an electronic ankle monitor. The criminal complaint details a brazen pattern of theft, with one victim alone reportedly defrauded of $15 million. Another claim involved $500,000. Law enforcement suspects that other victims, too embarrassed or cautious to come forward initially, will now start surfacing as the case unfolds. The magnitude of this breach has left many in disbelief. How did a trusted legal operator allegedly engineer such an extensive and prolonged scheme? Unpacking the show funds scheme at the center of the alleged fraud lies a practice known as show funds. Often used in high-stakes real estate negotiations, this tactic involves placing large sums into accounts to signal wealth or liquidity, an edge that can help secure deals or favorable terms from lenders. While legal under certain conditions, show funds walk a fine ethical line. In Nussbaum's case, prosecutors argue he crossed it completely. Instead of temporarily displaying liquidity as part of a legitimate transaction, Nussbaum is accused of treating client funds as his own, rerouting them, and failing to return them. This subversion of a fiduciary relationship cuts deep, particularly because it strikes at the heart of escrow law. Escrow accounts are the bedrock of real estate transactions, where neutral third-party custodians ensure that funds are not touched until all contractual obligations are satisfied. They are supposed to be airtight, untouchable, and managed with the utmost integrity. The very notion that an attorney, bound by ethical and legal constraints, would abuse this system is as alarming as it is devastating. Chain reaction, lawsuits, suicide, and deepening crisis. The first public crack in the facade came in January, when nursing home executive Jacob Sad filed a civil suit against Nussbaum, claiming he refused to return $15 million in escrow funds. A week later, Nussbaum closed his law firm without warning, sending shockwaves across the community and triggering panic among other clients. Almost immediately, additional lawsuits began to surface. Lenders and investors reported missing funds. Suspicion turned into confirmation, and one lawsuit bled into the next. But the financial toll wasn't the only consequence. Tragically, just a day after the Sad lawsuit was filed, real estate investor Mendel Steiner, allegedly ensnared in disputes related to the missing funds, died by suicide. The emotional weight of the scandal began to manifest in the most painful of ways, illustrating that the fallout was no longer just legal or financial, it was human. As investigations deepened, rumors and evidence began to link Nussbaum to other individuals already under indictment in separate mortgage fraud scandals. It raised the chilling possibility that he wasn't acting alone, but as part of a broader criminal ecosystem within New York's real estate and legal arenas. Legal echoes. The Mitchell-Kassoff precedent for those who recall the 2022 sentencing of attorney Mitchell Kassoff, who stole $15 million from clients and received 13.5 years in prison. Nussbaum's case carries a haunting familiarity. Both men were once considered brilliant legal professionals with impeccable credentials. Both managed massive client funds, and both allegedly betrayed those who trusted them in pursuit of greed. These similarities underscore a systemic vulnerability. How are attorneys entrusted with enormous financial responsibilities monitored? What checks exist, and why are they failing? While the New York State Bar has ethical codes and disciplinary procedures, cases like these suggest that enforcement may not be keeping pace with ambition-fueled malpractice. The legal road ahead. Mark Nussbaum's defense team will likely argue the complexities of modern real estate financing, claiming that the funds were not stolen, but reallocated in ways that were misunderstood or delayed. Yet the prosecution, buoyed by detailed financial records and testimony from aggrieved clients, appears determined to press ahead. The court's decision to enforce steep bail and restrict Nussbaum's movements is a clear indicator of how seriously the case is being taken. Authorities believe that more victims are waiting in the wings, and investigators are actively seeking additional evidence of long-running financial misdeeds. This case is poised to become one of the most high-profile legal battles in recent New York history. With the city's legal and real estate sectors closely intertwined, the reverberations will be felt far beyond the courtroom. Institutional reckoning. What comes next? The Nussbaum scandal is more than an isolated incident. It's a crisis of institutional trust. Real estate clients, many of whom previously relied on handshakes and verbal assurances, are now second-guessing every transaction. Escrow practices are under review. Due diligence has taken on a whole new meaning. And attorneys, even those far removed from the scandal, are facing more scrutiny from clients and regulators alike. Legal watchdogs and ethics boards will need to act quickly and transparently. Mandatory third-party audits, tighter escrow rules, and clearer disclosures may soon become standard in high-value transactions. And for clients, the days of blind trust are likely over. Conclusion: the price of broken trust. The arrest of Mark Nussbaum is a watershed moment for New York's legal and real estate industries. Once considered a bastion of integrity, Nussbaum's alleged actions have shattered that image and triggered a chain reaction of lawsuits, soul-searching, and tragedy. This scandal is a sobering reminder that even the most established professionals can fall, and when they do, the consequences are rarely contained. Trust, once broken, leaves behind a trail of damage that takes years to repair. The question now is not just what happens to Nussbaum, but how the entire system will respond to prevent the next betrayal. As the legal proceedings unfold and new facts emerge, one thing remains certain: the real estate world will never view the role of an attorney the same way again.